It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the NFC West. It's the Rams and the Seahawks on Monday night.
Well, the city of Seattle known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild Lumen Field.
This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. And for the first time, we get a look at the veteran Russell Wilson as he gets set to lead yet again this Seattle Seahawks offense.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. The beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They go play action with Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
So for this defense, a tall order ahead trying to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents, because he feels pressure so well. He's got a great sixth sense, maybe even a 7th and 8th. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows how to slide away from it, sometimes run away from it, and then he finds good throwing lanes to deliver downfield. So to me, it's that pressure inside, big, tall guys to make him try and throw over them and make his height work against him.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They run it with Carson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown.
Dwayne Eskridge.
54 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead.
Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into Danger Russ.
And you'd think on third down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Quarterback Matthew Stafford bringing out the L.A. offense. And Stafford, of course, all those years in Detroit and now in his first season with Los Angeles.
And what big news it was back in January when news leaked out that Matthew Stafford was leaving Detroit and heading out west to join the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are hoping he's the missing piece to the puzzle as they seek a Super Bowl title. Over 45,000 yards passing as a Lion, but not a single playoff victory in his entire tenure. The Rams general manager has said he can envision Stafford staying 5 to 8 years, which would take him into his 40s.
Play action, Stafford. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That catch good for only a couple.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Here's Wilson to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for only a couple.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, and he's got it.
And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Throwing is Wilson.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Seahawks have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The LA offense taking the field again. Winners on the road, they were in Week 2 defeating Indy 27-24. And they're now 2-0 for the 4th straight season. Cooper Kupp had a big game against the Colts, 9 catches, a couple of touchdowns, 163 yards. But ultimately, CD, this defense was really the story in this one.
It was, but let's start with the Rams being 2-0 for the 4th straight season. How do they do it? Because they played none of their starters in the preseason. They haven't done so since Sean McVay took over. And we always debate about whether you should play guys or not. The Rams are doing something right in preparation. But defensively, boy, did they step up. They held Indy to 1 for 4 in the red zone, forced a turnover on downs after a 1st and goal from the 1 on the Colts' opening drive, and later intercepted Carson Wentz on a 3rd and goal from the 3. That's a fierce defense. They were number 1 in the league last year. They're still terrific. And Darrell Henderson, the running back, he did leave the game in the 4th quarter with a rib injury and didn't return. So this Rams team, though, overall, I like what I'm seeing from them.
Big one Week 3, playing host to the defending champs, Tom Brady, and the Tampa Bay Bucs will come to town. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off of play action, here's Stafford. This is caught. It's Woods. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And that's a 1st down for the Rams after the catch there by Robert Woods. And he's coming off a back-to-back 90-catch seasons. I've always admired his game. Throw it to him, hand it to him. He blocks downfield. A complete receiver that doesn't get the credit he deserves.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. To throw is Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Woods. A gain of 6 there on first. Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford. And Woods has it complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 18. Stafford on target to Woods. First down, L.A.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again, it's Stafford.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Darrell Taylor able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
This will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Seattle Seahawks coming onto the field here, and Seattle coming off a tough 33-30 overtime loss to the Titans last week. And Seattle, the only team in the NFC West who did not start the season 2-0. And the Seahawks in this last game, though, Charles, they positioned themselves to get the win, but they simply could not stop a comeback from Derrick Henry and the Titans.
They led by 15 at halftime, all right? And the Titans came back to tie with 3 touchdowns, 182 yards from Derrick Henry to make it a tie and then win it in overtime. Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, they continue their connection. And Wilson, 343 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lockett, 8 catches, 178 yards and a touchdown. You would have thought that they would have locked this thing away. Defensively, in the old days, they would have. But Seattle goes as their offense goes right now. And the offense sputtered late. 3 and out, 3 of their last 4 drives, including overtime. Couldn't close it out, and Tennessee sneaks out with a win.
Looking at their next 3, at Minnesota, then San Francisco, and then home to host the Rams.
This is Carson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Wilson to Metcalf that time. First down, Seattle.
Nice throw. Big man catches the football for a first down, and that big man, that's DK Metcalf, the 9th receiver taken in the 2019 draft class. I think if we redid it, he might very well be the first one off the board. 83 catches for 1,300 yards last year.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession.
And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, Charles, looking back to week 2 in the NFL, boy, some quarterback injuries all over the place. Tua for Miami goes down. Indianapolis' Carson Wentz. Tyrod Taylor in Houston. Andy Dalton for the Bears all leave their games with injuries. Even Baker Mayfield had to play through one. Of all of those guys in all those injury situations, which one are you keeping your eye on most?
This is intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you're trying to force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson.
That's to the former Ram, Gerald Everett.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
To throw is Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that, because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try to mount a comeback.
Extra point up and through by Myers. after the touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away. Looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Getting set to go again here, Robert Woods marches back onto the field. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, Charles, switching gears here, through 2 weeks of the NFL season, only 7 unbeaten teams remain, only 2 in the AFC. If you look at the full list, in the AFC, it's Denver and Las Vegas. Over on the other side, Carolina, Tampa Bay, Arizona, the LA Rams, and San Francisco in the NFC. Of that crew, anybody really jump out at you?
Absolutely, it's Las Vegas. And Denver, obviously, undefeated as well. Very impressive. But they beat the Giants in Jacksonville. Las Vegas beat Baltimore at home and went on the road and beat Pittsburgh. That's really impressive. And on the NFC side, how about Arizona? Another big win this week. Kyler Murray keeps getting better and better at quarterback and beat Minnesota at home, getting off to a 2-0 start in the NFC West. That's absolutely huge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. And now it's second down.
Well, Charles, week 2 always an important one for teams who lost in week 1 that had high expectations. And we talked earlier about the 2-0 teams, but of those teams that lost in week 1 and then won in week 2, I'm thinking in the AFC's Buffalo and New England both got back on the horse.
They certainly did, but less of a surprise with them.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1?
Every single time.
On first down, Wilson.
We'll find Eskridge here complete.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Now Wilson on first down.
Throw right side, taken in by Eskridge. And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now it's Wilson. Eluding and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson as the first half is winding down.
And the Seahawks would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line
as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining.
Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half out of quarterback Russell Wilson. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Rams. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line.
And the Seahawks defense heads back out there now. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Another try after the first down sack. Stafford, they get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total.
41 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Henderson. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
We just saw the dilemma for every coach. You want them to fight for the extra yardage, but somehow continue to cover the football. Oftentimes when you fight that hard, the ball becomes exposed.
Defensively, it's obvious they're trying to be more aggressive. First tackle a little too aggressive. Second one, though, they strip it loose.
Yeah, we will get another look at Seattle's offense.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 40. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Well, this has been a bit of a tough game to figure out when it comes to him throwing the football. He's got the 3 touchdown passes, but now, Charles, this is a 3rd interception.
And those aren't really numbers that you'd like to see balance out. In a normal ledger sheet, if you can balance everything, you feel good about your day. But as a quarterback, you need your ratio to be more like 3 touchdown passes to 1 interception.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
56, Mike, 56.
Stafford. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Now Stafford.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Now it's Stafford. And he's got it. That's Cup for a Ram touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again.
And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that incompletion gives us another chance to look league-wide here. And like we said earlier, too early to draw conclusions through 2 weeks of the season, CD. But there were certainly a few teams out there who kind of fell to earth a little bit in week 2 after a big week 1. Maybe the biggest one, New Orleans had that huge Week 1 win, Charles, and then lost in Week 2.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'll come back to them because Houston, no surprise at all, losing at Cleveland. Miami, not really a surprise, even though they were at home against Buffalo. Pittsburgh, that was a surprise. Las Vegas came on the road and got them. Philadelphia played tough at home against the 49ers. But the New Orleans one, how long have they been on the road, Brandon? They've been on the road for forever, right? I mean, trying to get their thing organized and not being able to play at home, having to train away from New Orleans. Not a surprise at all that finally it caught up with them, and a tough loss for them at Carolina.
On third down, Wilson.
And this will go to Carson out wide.
And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
9 yards on the carry there, and that will be the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Darrell Henderson, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. This is caught. It's Woods. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Out of the gun, Stafford. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, but it's going to be second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
2nd and 10.
Stafford looks to throw again. He gets it complete to Jackson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on 1st down, then ran it on 2nd down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important 3rd down try?
This likely a must-have, 3rd and goal.
Back to throw, Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Cup. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Deshaun Jackson there to make the grab.
And the Rams have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll start by running the option to the right. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Now a 2nd down and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
And Pete Carroll looks like he likes his chances with the offense on the field. They're going for it on 4th. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Only a 1-yard gain, but good enough to just about finish this one off.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the victory here for Seattle. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.